Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Hiring Remote Tech Team all over the globe. My name is Marina Buzinik, head of talent Qubit Labs, and today our speaker will be Olga Bereza, my colleague. You know Olga very well already if you were watching our previous videos. Hi Olga, how are you today?
Thanks. Great. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for joining us. And today we are going to tell you a bit more about hiring remote tech team in Georgia. We already have some successful experience with working with Georgian developers. And Olha is going to tell us a bit more. So let's start with an overview. Please tell us, why is Georgia becoming an attractive hub for tech talents?
Yes, I'm excited to share some insights, first of all, because it's one of my favorite destinations. And Georgia's tech scene has really taken off in recent years. And a big part of that is thanks to international investment. Um, in fact, there is a report from the local source, which is called Gold and Taggart, that shows that IT sector total turnover hit 2.4 billion Georgian lace billion in 2023. And what's interesting is that around 87% of that came from export. Plus,
Mhm.
just IT services alone brought in almost $900 million last year, which is pretty impressive. and and it doesn't stop there. We also see a big increase in the number of people joining the industry. Right now, there are over 30,000 IT professionals working in Georgia. Of course, it's like approximately, because it's also according to some general, like annual surveys. And also, of course, the salaries are being doubled since 2021, because the more and more international companies are tapping into Georgian market.
Mhm. That's quite impressive. A country with an inhabitants less than 4 million people and so many nice developers. Uh, Really impressive. And what are the main reasons companies are drawn to hire tech talent in Georgia, in your opinion?
Well, first and foremost, the cost. Salaries for tech professionals in Georgia are much lower compared to places like Western Europe, the USA, or Australia. For example, in average, a junior developer can earn anywhere from 600 and 1,500 American dollars per month, which is significantly less than you would find in other markets, but without compromising on quality. And another big plus I would like to emphasize is time zone. Georgia operates in GMT plus 4, which makes it really convenient and efficient for businesses working in Europe or Asia. You get a lot of overlap in working hours, making remote collaboration pretty smooth. And on top of that, the tech scene is growing fast, as it was mentioned. Georgia has a vibrant young tech community that's eager to work on international projects.
Okay, nice. Sounds sounds good. Promising environment.
Yeah.
And what types of roles or technologies are companies looking for when hiring in Georgia? Or what will you advise? For which technologies should companies come to Georgia?
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting question. So, right now there is a high demand for full stack developers and DevOps engineers, because we see in the world the tendency to, like more like general development, etc. The most popular programming languages, I would say, include JavaScript and its frameworks, of course, like Vue.js, Angular, React.js, Python, and PHP.
Mhm.
In fact, there is also a survey which shows that JavaScript actually is used by over 40% of developers in Georgia.
Mm,
And
a lot.
yes, and uh, like taking into account our experience, I can say that front-end developers and back-end developers in Georgia have like really proficient knowledge, and they also sometimes are proficient in some niche technologies like 12GS, because it's like the freshest example we have been working with. What else to say is like about the domains, about the fields, because there is also some like tendency. And according to the local source, which is called investor.g, so two kinds of fields, fintech and e-commerce, are some of the fastest growing industries in Georgia right now.
Mhm.
And that really that's really driving the demand for professionals who can build secure and scalable platforms. And also another promising area is blockchain space. A lot of developers are gaining expertise, especially with growing interest in cryptocurrency and decentralized DeFi platforms. In fact, at one point, Georgia was ranked second in the world for cryptocurrency mining, which naturally led to a rise in blockchain related projects. So, to summarize, it's a pretty diverse landscape when it comes to tech roles here.
Wow, being such a small country and being placed at the first place, it's impressive. And
Second, yeah.
second, okay. Uh,
Anyway, high rank.
Anyway, yeah. Uh, okay, everything sounds great, but what about some challenges? Are there any downsides companies should be aware of when hiring in Georgia?
Uh, yes, of course, there are a few challenges. The biggest one is the size of the talent pool. Even though the IT sector is growing, it's still smaller compared to tech hubs like Poland, Romania, or Ukraine. So it might take a bit more to find the specialists for a very niche or senior roles. As for language skills, English proficiency can be still something to consider, but honestly, I've seen a lot of improvement over these years. More and more specialists, especially fresh graduates, are reaching higher levels of English. And on top of that, there are plenty of service companies in Georgia that work with both European and the US clients. This gives developers real world opportunities to use English in both business and technical contexts, which is a huge advantage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's really helpful. Great. So you would say that like fresh graduates are usually speaking better English than more experienced developers.
Yeah, because they always strive to join some community, usually like English speaking community. And if I speak about like relatively new technologies, so definitely fresh graduates, they are like more eager to dive deeper into something extraordinary or extra new compared to those who already have, like some profound experience in stable technologies.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And can you now tell us a bit about the typical types of contracts that companies are using hiring in Georgia? Like what is possible? Which forms do they have?
Sure, great question to think about for companies to tap into the Georgian market. So, in Georgia, basically, there are a few common contract types that usually are used depending on the setup, of course. The first is the standard regular employment contract, where the company hires an employee directly, and it covers things like social security, taxes, health insurance. This is like typical for long-term roles where the employee is fully integrated into the company. Another option is the service agreement, which
Mhm.
is more flexible and often used like for freelance or project-based work. um, it's popular with companies that want to hire remote workers without committing to full-time employment, or for some reason, let's say they cannot like afford to like to go with employment contract. These agreements, I mean service agreements, they allow for more flexibility in terms of hours, project scope, and of course, it's usually like common for middle, senior level professionals or specialists. And finally, there is the B2B contract, where the worker is like a contractor with their own registered business. They handle their own taxes, social benefits, which of course gives them a certain level of flexibility, but less security compared to full time employment.
Okay, it sounds very difficult. So I would advise everyone to contact Qubit Labs team, and we will take care of everything. Uh, okay, with more international companies entering the market, how can businesses stand out and attract the best Georgian talents for a competitive salary? What should they
Mhm.
offer?
So, competition for talent in Georgia is definitely heating up, especially
Mhm.
as more international companies are recognizing the potential here. It's no longer just about finding people, it's about attracting the best talent. One thing that really stands out is how much flexibility matters to IT professionals in Georgia. But I would say it's like general tendency of all over the world. Like more and more specialists, they would like to have like opportunity to balance work and life, and flexible hours usually like gives this opportunity. And also, of course, speaking about some data, according to research by invest.ga in Georgia, over I think 70% of tech workers rank flexible working condition as top priority when choosing a job. So offering remote work, flexible hours, or even hybrid setup really helps companies stand out in this competitive market. And another huge factor is professional development. The tech sector here is still expanding, and many professionals are eager to continue learning and improving their skills, like upskilling. And it's been found also that about 83% of developers are actively looking for roles that offer opportunities for training or exposure to new technologies. I have been frequently asked by specialists whether the company covers like fully or like partially, some certificates like for Amazon Web Service, or like other, like popular certifications. So it really matters, and I can say it from my personal experience. So companies that invest in growth opportunities are far more likely to attract and retain top talent. And lastly, company culture. It's really important. Developers in Georgia, like anywhere else, want to work in a positive environment. In fact, a lot of employees, they prioritize company culture and work-life balance, as it was said, over even a higher salary. So yeah, so I would say these three factors, they are the most important ones.
Okay. And what do you think about the long-term prospects? Can Georgia truly become a major hub for remote tech talent?
Definitely. Georgia has quickly become like one of my favorite places because I consider it like a hidden gem in the tech world, because the IT sector has been growing at an impressive rate, around like 25% year on year since 2020. And the talent pool is expanding in like these key major areas today, like AI, cybersecurity, of course, software engineering. And what's really exciting is the international attention Georgia is getting. um, Over like 65% of new IT jobs in the past 2 years have come from foreign investments, giving local developers even more opportunities to work on global projects, and as a result, to get used to this international cooperation, to work as a part of distributed teams. And I would say it really strengthens the tech ecosystem here. And on top of that, Georgia's digital nomad visa has attracted a lot of international talent. We have seen an increase in digital nomad. I believe it's like 30% or something over the past year, which is adding diversity and fresh perspectives to the local tech community. So while I do think it's also important to keep an eye on the political landscape in Georgia, I wouldn't say it's something to worry about right now. Georgia remains a business friendly country, but as with any market, it's good to stay informed. But anyway, the overall outlook is very positive, and Georgia continues to grow as a tech hub. I really believe companies that invest in this market now will see for sure long term benefits.
Let's hope, will continue to be like this. I personally only wish the best uh, for Georgia. So thank you for these great insights, Olha. And what would be your final advice for companies looking to hire from Georgia?
So, my advice would be simple: don't wait. uh, Georgia's tech market is still growing, and the talent here is fantastic. Plus, the costs are really competitive compared to other regions, which is really a huge advantage. If companies get in now, they can build strong, loyal teams for the long term. And if you are not familiar with the market, like don't hesitate or don't be scared. It's a good idea to partner anyway with companies that know the landscape, whether that's the local
Like
uh,
Cubit Labs, for
or
example.
yeah, international staff company like Cupid Lab is. We've been working with this market for over 3 years, I believe. Yes.
More than 3 years,
uh,
right?
yeah, even more. And honestly, it's been a fantastic experience because Georgia has so much potential, and right now is the perfect time to get involved.
Thank you, Olha, and please do not hesitate to contact us. We can help you to hire developers from Georgia, Ukraine, any other European country or all over the globe. We can hire a mixed team as well. So thank you so much, Olha, and hope to see you soon when we'll be making our next episode in a new destination.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.